I guess, yeah, most of the fundamentals. I guess. I mean, is there anything then after that, um, which because oh yeah, so we've got these maps and stuff that we talked about, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I guess before we talk about what it is you guys do at Fermilab, um, how uh, do these maps kind of tie into or add on to this kind of the stuff that they kind of discovered
Okay,
in the
so
60s.
like when you talk right now, I mean,
Yep,
there's a certain air pressure around you,
yep,
but when you talk, the vibrations change the air pressure ever so slightly, and that's how you hear, right? So during the Big Bang, it was a certain temperature, but there were sound waves. Like in any gas, this, it was shit. It was an explosion, right? So there were sound waves that were just reverberating. So um, somebody predicted in the I don't remember when they predicted it, pretty early on in the 50s or maybe the early 70s. I don't remember. Um, that the Big Bang, when it was hot, should have sound waves, and nobody had seen them. What they figured out also is in the same way that unless you've got, this huge speaker going, when people are talking, you don't actually feel any variations in the sound. Your ears are good at feeling it, but your skin doesn't. You just don't feel that. So in the same sense, the sound vibrations in the early universe were very, very small compared to the overall pressure. And it turns out that they weren't sure, but it was 1 part per 10,000 or 1 part per 100,000. So they were very small sound waves.
okay,
So what they decided to do was to go look for variations in the temperature. Because in the same way that sound waves in the air, you have places of higher pressure and lower pressure. That means if you look at it really precisely, higher temperature and lower temperature, even in the air, if you could take a snapshot and see a
yep,
sound wave, you would see slightly warmer, slightly cooler places because of the pressure. So
yep,
they went looking for that, and it was really hard. Um, and it was not until 1992 that this COBE, COBE experiment was able to see them first. And that was just a true mind blower. It was amazing. Uh, However, COBE was just the first vision of it. And it was great, but it needed a better measurement. So a few years later, another experiment, WMAP, um, it's just WMAP, that was another satellite.
yep.
And then finally, there was the Planck satellite, which was done recently. And so those things are now, what they see is they see tiny variations in the temperature of this background radiation. And these tiny tiny variations are leftover bits of the sound when the universe was cool enough for hydrogen to become to be created. So it locked in the sound at that moment where the fog lifted.
Interesting, interesting. Really cool. Really, really, really cool stuff. Um,